Hi guys, Kaiser here, and welcome back to Age of Empires 3. Now the first thing I've got to share is the channel is nearing 250 subscribers, and that absolutely blows my mind. So I just wanted to take a second to say thank you to each and every one of you that have subscribed to the channel, that have left likes or comments on the different videos. If you're taking the time to watch any of my videos, whether we're talking AoE2, AoE3, some other game that I have and will continue to spotlight on the channel, gameplay videos, mod spotlight videos, news videos, anything like that. If you're taking the time to watch any of my stuff, I really appreciate it. I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Now, let's go ahead and dive into today's video, and we're looking at the Italians. This is an AoE3 civ that was introduced with the Knights of the Mediterranean expansion pack. And I've got to say, I haven't played them a lot before preparing for this video, but they are a lot of fun. They have a lot of moving parts that make them very interesting. And first, we can see that by looking at their economy. Now, the Italians start the game with only 3 villagers. That's different from most other civilizations that start with 5 villagers, or the French, who start with the Coureurs de Bois, 5 of them, which are even better villagers. So right out of the gate, Zusheu's economy is much stronger than mine, initially. But the Italians get a free villager with every single technology they research. The other thing about the Italian economy that is very unique is they get access to the architect. Now, the architect is a builder that can construct buildings slowly, but for free. You can also invest resources in order to get him to speed up production. But the main draw of the the architect, is he can construct buildings for free. So what I'm doing in my opening moves is I have tasked my architect to build a market, and once the market was about halfway completed, I used the power to finish up the market before as quickly as I could. And then I got him onto a house. Basically, you always want to keep the architect working, right? But then as soon as the market came up, I researched hunting dogs. And I found with my explorer, because you need 50 gold for that, so I got a villager onto gold to pick up 10 gold and then put them onto deer. And it was only 10 because my explorer found a treasure worth 40 gold. So I grabbed both of those, researched hunting dogs, and not only do I get that economic bonus, but I get a free villager on top of that. So then, I'm going very greedy and very heavily into my feudal age techs. You'll see here I'm picking up blunderbuss and greatcoat. Those cost a modicum of food. It certainly will slow down my age up to the next age, but I'm picking up a free villager with every single one of these techs. So I'm getting a very strong economy right here in the early game. My opponent, Zusheu, you'll see right here, I've already overtaken him in vill count. And that's because of my greed in utilizing the market here right out of the gate. Right. So they are a very fun civilization. And if we take a look at my deck, I'm leaning very heavily into the economic side of things. I am sending, let me see, yeah, the first card I sent was Advanced Politicians, which upgrades the politician bonus that you get with every tech up. And that will be very useful. And then right beside that, I'm picking up Merchant Republics, which means that I will get more resources out of my trade post. So if we're in one of those situations where I control 2 TPs and my opponent controls 2 TPs, well, even in that draw, I'll get the better end of the bargain. And I'll be able to pick up more cards faster, which is pretty nice. Now, the other economic feature of the Italians, we're not even done with the economy side of things yet, is the Lombard. And what the Lombard does is it allows you to rebalance your economy or invest your economy very effectively. You can put in, what you do is you select the Lombard and you put in a certain number of resources. Like, let's say you put in 300 food. If you put in 300 food, you will receive 150 wood and 150 coin. Yeah, okay, he's attacking me with his scout. It's not really going to do anything. But you put in 300 food, you get out 150 wood and 150 coin. And if you put in, again, if you put in 300 wood, you get 150 food and 150 coin. If I remember correctly, it's the food. You actually get a little bit more additional food. So if you put in 300 coin, for example, you get 150 wood and something like 170 or 180 food. So you actually get something out of the bargain. But the thing that you can do with the Lombards that's really nice is in the early game, food collects much faster than anything else. So you will see I do have a couple of vills on wood and a couple of vills on gold. I don't have a completely food-based economy. Oh, take a look at this. This is a critical moment. Zusheyu has gone up to the commerce age before I have, and he's raiding me. He will get some kills here. But because I picked up the blunderbuss upgrade and the greatcoat upgrade early in order to get those extra vills, I'm able to push back this attack with vills in a way I otherwise certainly would not have been able to. Thank goodness he didn't micro his Hussar more effectively to knock out that low vill. So yeah, he gets that attack in. He gets off a kill or maybe 2 kills. But even so, I still have 17 vills to his 13. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. I mean, not that I would know how well he's doing in-game, but I felt like knocking out 3 Hussar at that cost was decent. So I'm going into the Lombards. I got the Architect building 1. I've got a Lombard wagon coming in for the 2nd. And my game plan is to go very heavy into food. Food collects faster than any other resource. And then use my Lombards in order to, alchemize. I think I make a mistake here. I'm building a basilica right in the way of the retreating vills. But use the Lombards to alchemize my fast-gathering food into the much harder-to-collect wood and gold. So I think it's a pretty neat building, and there are some unique strategies that you can pull off. Alright, so this is the 2nd raid coming in from the French opponent, Zusheyu. Hussar coming in, getting a couple of kills. I definitely need to get some kind of military out. But at this point, I still have 20 vills to his 16. The Italian economy is strong. I am continuing to pick up technologies. In the Basilica, which is the Italian version of the church, you get access to several very cheap technologies, including the vision upgrade techs that expand the sight of your buildings, or they expand the sight of your units. Those are very cheap technologies, and for the Italians, that means an extra vill at a very cheap cost. So, basilicas are definitely something I think Italians should take advantage of. I've also picked up the Uffizi card. I'm really going heavily into the Lombards and the economy. So with Uffizi, I get a Basilica wagon, and Lombards now trickle experience while converting investments. So if I were to go here, yeah, you'll see that I've put in coin and food. So I'm collecting a lot of wood, collecting some coin, and then it is food that you get more food with the conversion. So now on top of that, with Uffizi, I am getting experience from every Lombard. And I do believe it is every Lombard. It might be that the Lombards as a whole just give me 0.5 experience per second. I'd have to check that. But I'm getting experience so long as the Lombards are working, which is a really nice bonus. It's kind of a mini trade post on top of my trade post. And let me see. So the Basilica, like I said, it's a church, but the unique feature of the church, of the Basilica, is that it provides a building construction speed boost around it. So if you set your architect to build things around the Basilica, he will construct much faster. Vills that need to construct things around the church, the Basilica, will construct faster. It's a pretty nice bonus. I've got out some pikemen, and nothing special about Italian pikemen. I just thought, with the Hussars raiding me, I should have a front line, an anti-cav front line. Here we go. And behind that, I have the Pavisier. which is the Italian version of the crossbowman. I don't know off the top of my head what the stat differences are between a regular crossbowman and a Pavisier, but the main difference is, depending on what stance you have the Pavisier in, he takes resistance to certain types of damage. So, by default, he gets 20% ranged damage resistance, right? But you can change the mode. Like if I'm going up against a lot of Hussar, I can set them into a different mode and they'll get 20% melee damage resistance. So they're a very flexible unit and pretty strong for the early game. Which, in my case, you know, I'm trying to power through. I kind of have a mix of these economic techs, which will get me into a very strong late game situation. But then I also have a lot of technologies and cards for my Pavisier. It'll increase their hit points, increase their range and attack damage. More HP here. So I kind of want to use the Pavisier as my army to protect myself while I go up into the next age. That's the game plan. While we're developing, you'll see here, I'm picking up trading posts. I'm trying to get more XP. Because everything. I mean, even if I were to get access to one of these native allies, and I research those techs, well, that means more villagers for the Italians. Right. So here I've got 32 vills to my opponent's 19. So again, feeling pretty good. Let me take a look at Zeheu's deck. Let's see, he's sent Courier, Advanced Market. He sent a lot of resources, which surprised me. I would have picked up that Courier card earlier if I were him. That crossbowman he needs to ship out. Yeah, seems like a pretty straightforward skirmisher, dragoon-focused deck, it looks like to me. Here we go, a little bit of an engagement. I move in, I happen to see the Hussar and a couple of crossbowmen. I decided to back out because I don't want to lose my Pavisier in the event that he has this big giant army. And there it is. Zusheu, he's got the weaker economy, but he is up to the next age. So here, if you look at my economy, I've got a lot of food. I'm there. Let's take a look at this. I'm sending another card. Papacy? Oh, no, that's a... Oh, yeah, this is a tech in the church that allows you to build an additional church, but it takes a little bit longer to construct. So, and that's a free technology in the Basilica, which, guess what, means another Vill for free. You gotta love it. Anyway, so I'm using the... Or I should be using the Lombards. I should be using the Lombards to invest some of this food in order to try to get my gold up. I need to get to the next age to match my opponent. I don't want to fall behind in the technology race. Ooh, wait a minute. Here we go. Pikeman engaging on the Hussar. And that didn't work. So now I got intel on what he has. He's got... What is this here? He's got 4 Hussar. 4 Hussar. 6 skirmishers. 14 crossbowmen. And 2 falconets. I've just hit the 3rd age. There we go. So I do have the tech up. Schiavone swords coming in, which gives me additional hand attack, melee attack for all of my units. It'll be very useful if I build any melee units. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Picking up some musketeers. Again, nothing special about Italian musketeers, but I am worried about my opponent going all in on cav. And musketeer are very effective at dealing with cavalry, so they will serve, again, as a good front line for my Pavisier. You do see here, I have an upgrade coming in for the Pavisier, or I'm sorry, that's actually the musketeer. Upgrade coming in for the musketeer, which will get me another build, actually. More Pavisier coming in. And all I'm doing, I'm content to sit back, allow my eco to do its thing. They need to, yeah, they're going to hide in the town center. Anything I can do to sort of chip away at this ball attacking me. The buildings can take some damage. If I can chip away at his army and get him, you know, get him kind of confused, like skirmishing against him, losing a little bit here, losing a little bit there. Well, militia on the field, in the background. While the town center takes hits, the barracks continue to work. Should be continuing to work. I guess I am running low on resources. But I have what I need here. A lot of the infantry going down. The cannons putting in work against those units, but that was a calculated loss. I did not want them hitting my main units, which they're now doing, so I should be backing up. Yeah, this is a mistake. I don't want to lose my guys there, but my cannons finally come out. I sent a falconet card. My cannon takes his. There we go. And at this point, his offensive is stalled. So, okay, I lose both of my cannons as well. But, in the end, his army suffers much more than mine does. It's a good situation for me to be in. I have 39 vills. My opponent has 24. And I want to say a good bit of that army. No, I'm mistaken. Okay, he had constructed a lot of that. So, again, a weaker eco, but he is putting his pedal to the metal. He's going all in on the offense and really trying to get some damage in. So it's important for me, as I'm investing in the economy, to keep... Don't let him gain too much momentum. If I can keep him from getting overwhelming momentum, I will win the game through economic strength. But if I make a misstep, I've been in situations where I have a way better economy than my opponent, but I just don't invest in the military side of things, and he... just overwhelms me. Weaker eco, but he's got an army on the field and I don't. So I have to make sure I have sufficient economy to deal with whatever he's got. Good news though, Pavicier will beat the veteran crossbowman. Especially, you know, from the pure number side of things. I did get up a second town center, which would be very strong. If he gets a sufficient push on this first TC, at least I have another one running in the background. Crossbowmen are wiped out. And again, I'm relishing, you know, the settlers, the strength that they bring to the table. They should be fighting this. Turn around. I guess I'm just relying on my Pavicier, but the crossbowmen could take a second to deal with these guys. There we go. Oh, yeah, I have them on the Hussar. I have them on the Hussar specifically because the crossbows are weak to Hussar. So, you know, focus him down first. Halberdier won't be able to do anything to him. Put a lot of coin into those Lombards, getting more food going. Because for a while, my food was completely shut down, the wood was shut down, and coin was access to the only thing I had. So the Lombards proved very, very useful during that tight spot. I am building a couple of stables, because I get this idea, you know, in AoE3, maybe even more than in AoE2, or at least in my experience so far. I won't make the comparison game. I'll just say that in AoE3, it is very important to have a diversified army. You can get overwhelmed very quickly if you go into one type of unit, like here, if I were to go all in Pavicier, and just get hit with the counter unit. You know, even a small force of the counter unit could completely wipe out all of these Paviciers. So, I don't want that. Here we go. I'm claiming my Hanover allies. They have a couple of really unique options. They've got the Black Brunswicker, which is a musketeer unit. Pretty cool. They have the Drummer, which I would love to pick up for my Pavicier. The Drummer is a support unit that helps military units move and attack faster. That would be a really good one to pick up. And then the Totenkopf Hussar, which is a German, you know, Hussar light cab unit. And a very strong one, so. Meanwhile, my opponent, again, he has 31 vills, I've got 48 villagers. So economically, I'm feeling pretty good. I haven't really highlighted this so much, but again, I'm going back to the market, and every single time I can, I'm picking up more market techs. At this point, I probably have them all. And it's just one of the best ways to get that early Italian economy strong. There's a reason why I rushed the market as the very first building. Alright, I've got 44 Pavisier, so I've got numbers. That's good. He's got 5 Hussar, 5 Halberdier, a couple of skirmishers. They're not really going to do a lot. And these are veteran Pavisier. So I'm feeling very good about my army situation. The main thing I'm concerned about is artillery. Because artillery is that kind of unit that if you misplay it, kind of like an Onager in AoE2, you know, you can lose a massive units to some well-placed artillery shots. So I've just got to be careful about how I play this. And here we go. He's actually beginning an engagement on me. Everything else here, I'm not really that concerned about. The handful of crossbowmen and cavalry, but I do want to make sure that I don't lose my guys to this artillery. Some culverin would be really nice right now. Take a look. Here we go. At the Hanover Trading Post, I have got my Totenkopf Hussar ready to go. The Totenkopf Hussar, again, it's like a regular Hussar. It's a light cav unit, but it has a charge attack. The first bit of damage that it's going to do does extra damage. So I'm keeping them in the background, keeping them off to the side, and I'm going to try to skirmish with the Pavisier. Just get in some chip damage, peel off a unit here and there, and then here we go. Swooping around to the side. Cavalry go down. I'm sorry, not cavalry. The cavalry go in. They do their damage. And the artillery go down. Zusheu taunts me. You sit on the computer all day playing. You know nothing of hard life. And then he calls the GG. And later I did tell him, hey, man, GG, well played. And he hit me back with the GG. So I think it's all in good fun. But that is the Italians. And we didn't even get into their late-game military. The Bersaglieri is a very fun Italian skirmisher unit that does not only does damage, but also stuns enemy armies. So that's a really fun one to play with. But I think this does a pretty good job of showing the economic heart of the Italians and how you can use different things. You've got the settlers with every technology. You have the architect. You have the basilica. You have the Lombard. And using all of those things in order to get a very strong, very flexible economy going, the Italians are pretty cool. I had a lot of fun with them, and I encourage you to give them a spin on the ladder. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much. If you did, again, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 250. Thank you guys again so much. For now, this is the Iron Kaiser, signing off.